This episode of Earn Your Happy is sponsored in part by Shopify, Constant Contact, Cozy Earth, Airbnb, and OpenPhone. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/happy. Constant Contact's award-winning marketing platform is here to make marketing way easier and way more effective. Try Constant Contact free for 30 days at constantcontact.com. Where would you live for a year if you hosted your home on Airbnb and went on an adventure? Find a co-host at airbnb.com/host. Sleep cooler, lounge lighter, stay cozy. Go to cozyearth.com and use code EARN for 40% off. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. OpenPhone is offering my listeners 20% off of your first 6 months at openphone.com/earn. Truly practice saying what you want, saying where you want to go, that big audacious dream with a period at the end. No apologizing for it beforehand. No, like, I'm not sure if I can. Like, state it like a fact, because that is how you start to change your trajectory, your identity. You start to change the pattern. Welcome back to the Earn Your Happy podcast. It's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit an inspiration. And we are fitting an inspiration with my girlfriend, Lindsey Marie. What's happening? I just saw you.
I know. I feel like this is us being like, I missed you. I saw you 48 hours ago.
I missed you for that one day. I really did. I missed you for the day.
It's true.
So Lindsey and I just got back from both of us speaking at Create and Cultivate, which was in Los Angeles.
It was amazing.
It was incredible. They truly, that is just a different kind of event that they put on. It is the largest business conference for women in business. It is Create and Cultivate Festival, and it is absolutely something to see if you have never seen it. And I know that we had so much fun, and we really made that event, something that worked great for us. And that's what we want to talk about today. We're actually going to be talking about, Lindsey has this insane event coming up that I go to every single year. I do not miss it. It is the Powerhouse Women event, and she is hosting, we don't know how many people yet, but last year was nuts, you guys. Hundreds of people. She had 800 women there last year. And it was just one of the most beautiful spaces to be in, because it truly is full of women who are so generous, so fun, all have the same intention of just wanting to grow their business, wanting to grow their friendships, their relationships, wanting to share. Like, it's one thing to be in a room full of women, but it's another thing to be in a room full of women with the same intention, who want to go to the same places. Because I know you've all been there. You guys have been in the rooms where you're like, okay, I didn't really get what I needed, and everyone was a little closed off, or it didn't feel great. You truly set the tone of that room through the way that you market, through the way that you are, through the way that you tell them how this is going to be and how it's going to go down, and how you facilitate the room. So I'm so excited to be there, you guys. If you do not have your ticket yet, which we're going to be chatting all about, just different ways to really get value and be seen, and, get at the tables that you guys want to get at, because I've been getting so many messages since seeing Lindsey and I at Create and Cultivate, since seeing us. I had a dinner at my house on Wednesday that was really beautiful. We went to Supper Club for Create and Cultivate. And I've just had a lot of women reach out and say, how do I get at those tables? And so we really wanted to have a conversation not only around the importance of attending events, because if you haven't noticed, that's what we do. We attend them, we throw them, we go to them, but also kind of how to be there, how to get the value out of it. So, Linz, first I want to start just by asking you a little bit about your event. So first of all, what is this event for this year? Like, who is this the perfect person for?
I've been having this conversation within the Powerhouse Women community that a lot of people are feeling right now. So this is always the overarching energy of the event and the community, but it is extra potent right now, which is this idea that all that stands between you and anything you want in life, which a lot of the women in that room are ambitious. They have big dreams. They have a business that they're creating or a passion project. All that stands between you and having that is learning how to become the person who has it, the person who can hold that next level of success. And as you know, Lori, you had really a front row seat as one of my closest friends to this huge identity upgrade that I've been going through the last several years. And it wasn't pretty. It was harder than I ever anticipated it could be. And I think that it's so easy to talk about the aspirational side of becoming this higher self, stepping into the next version of yourself. But it's also a room, Powerhouse Women is a room where we get very real to prepare you for the moments that are challenging. Because both you and I have had these pivotal moments in our careers, in our growth and our evolution, that had people seen what we were actually walking through, they would understand how normal it is to feel like your entire identity, your entire world is unraveling a little bit, but it's actually making space for what's coming next. And the Powerhouse Women community has always been rooted in that transformation, first and foremost. Yes, we want to help you build your business or achieve that next level of success. I just know that the most effective way to help you get there is to have these conversations, number one, to expand you through the women that you see on stage and hearing their stories, seeing that if it was possible for them, it's possible for you. So expanding your vision and then giving you the real glimpse of what the journey is going to look like, while also, and I think this is really where the magic is, creating an environment where, I'm going to steal the words of one of our community members, Anna Marie. She said, you know, what was so transformational for her was walking into an environment with women who were ride or dies for her higher self. They weren't relating to her as the current version. She walked into her first event 2 years ago on public assistance with $50 in her bank account, packed food to come to the event because she couldn't afford to even buy meals out. But she said, I knew if I got into that room, something would shift. And just the way that the women in that room didn't look at me like a single mom on public assistance, they heard my big dreams and said, of course you can do that. How can we support you? It's so important and it's so potent to put ourselves in environments that really hold us to the standard of the person we say we want to become, but then also support us in becoming that person. And that's what Powerhouse Women stands for. That's why it's so fun every year. Selfishly, I know you and I both love seeing the transformations year after year after year, because once you get yourself into that environment, you can't help but transform. And then you want to come back and celebrate it and get another dose of that and set your vision, set the bar higher every single year.
Oh God. I mean, it's really incredible what you've replicated, because you've taken, I feel like, the most special moments of what we've created in our like very beautiful girlfriend circles and just expanded it out for everybody to be able to experience and do on their own. And, you know, I think what happens when we are trying to grow and our reality doesn't yet reflect maybe the network that we want in our head. You know, we have this idea of the friend groups that we want. We see it. We see the exact groups. Maybe we think we even want into that exact group, except most of the time, you guys, like a lot of people can't have a lot of friends, especially if you're successful. There's just not a ton of time. And it's not like these friend groups are like, yeah, come on in, 20 new people that all want to be our friend, or let's be realistic, 100, 200, 500 people. And so I think what's been really beautiful is it's like, hey guys, stop looking at us to want to come into this group and start making your own, because it's actually going to be even more powerful. And I'm speaking to that as me doing that firsthand. Like, I remember wanting in these specific groups, specific names, you guys, like I didn't want to make my own group. I wanted in that group, and the universe had other plans for me because those groups were not letting me in. And I get it. They're busy. Everybody wants in, and there's a limited amount of time, and they want to be close to the people that they're already close to and that they love and their families. And then they want to help the other people through their programs, etc. Now, why I love this is truly, this is not even the next best thing. It's the better thing, is to be able to learn how to make your own table, learn how to make your own group and find those women who are like-minded. And nobody connects them like you do, Lindsey. You are the magnet who is bringing together these incredible women. And there's a reason why all of the women at your event are so special, is because I really believe the person who's attracting them really puts out their core values. It really puts out like, hey, we're not going to be mean girls in here. Hey, this is how we talk. This is how we support each other. This is how we support ourselves. We don't blame, complain, justify all the things. So I really, really love that. And I love that you have been able to duplicate how women can create their own support systems in their lives. So that's really what happens at these events, you guys. You know, when you go to Powerhouse Women, you're going to be able to create and build your own table with the people who are coming up with you. Like that is so incredibly powerful. So I want to kind of talk about, you know, when somebody goes into an event, because I've been to events where I didn't necessarily put myself out there and I was like, oh, was that not a valuable event? Like if someone said to you, hey, you know, I want to be at these tables. I want to get in these groups. I want people to see me. I know I have this big calling in the world. How would you show up at your event or events like it?
I think first and foremost, I'm going to speak specific to Powerhouse Women. We are very intentional with creating a lot of opportunities for you to connect with people before you walk in the room. And especially if you're a little nervous, if you are coming by yourself, this is a community that wants to welcome you with open arms. So do that so you feel more supported and even more excited walking into the room. You can go to our Instagram feed and find connection threads. We have a Facebook group that's open to the public, just the Powerhouse Women community on Facebook. So there's plenty of places to get plugged in. I would be intentional with trying to find a few other people who are going, because I know that that will have me show up differently. Now, when I'm there, I think this is the razor's edge of intention, but also letting go of specifically how that intention unfolds that I think is the sweet spot. Because to the point of, let's say there's a speaker or someone in the room that you're dying to connect with, and you think, like, if I connect with that one person, everything will change. I know I have had that thought before. Like, if this person sees me, like if Lori just sees me, then I will know I have made it. Usually that's coming from a wound. That's like, we want to find our validation in other people's validation of us. That's okay. That's part of the process. But what I will say is I go in with an intention. Like you and I, even before we went to the second day or the first day of Create and Cultivate, we set the intention on our morning walk that we were both going to make one valuable connection. It was going to feel like a magic aligned connection that we wouldn't even expect. So the intention itself was very broad, and we were looking for miracles. We went in knowing that there's someone in that room we're meant to connect with. I may think I know who I want to connect with, but it could be someone totally different. And then I noticed how when we were in the speaker green room, when we were backstage with, you know, some incredible people, the ones that maybe had the bigger public platforms, I didn't necessarily feel a huge like connection resonance with. Now, could it be cool to connect with them at some point down the road? Absolutely. But then there would be one random person I would strike up a conversation with, and one of them could potentially be an investor in Glossy. One of them could potentially be, you know, a sponsor for Powerhouse Women. And it was always the people that I didn't have any attachment to needing that relationship to turn into anything. And I think that is the sweet spot. It's great to go in hoping that you get maybe a photo with your favorite speaker, or you get a moment to just thank them for the impact that they made on you. But then also just keeping your intention broad enough to say, like, what do you need right now? Are you looking for friends? Is that the number one thing? If you walked away with maybe 1 to 3 connections for potential girlfriends that could really go on this journey with you, go in with that one intention, but then be open that maybe the people you connect with don't live in your area, or maybe they aren't the people you typically would connect with. But once you're in their energy, you feel that resonance. Or go in with the connection. Maybe you need something for your business. And so you're going to keep that at the forefront of your mind in the conversations you're having. You know, like for you right now, fundraising for Glossy, it's like, how can I bring that into the conversations that I'm having? Just at least letting people know that's one of the main intentions that I have. Because when we don't let people know how they can support us or what we need, we miss the connections that are available right there in the room. So I like to keep it to one like top priority intention. But then the key is, because I can get very controlling and meaning like I want to control the outcome. I think I know the way that this has to look, or the person I need to connect with. I have to set my intention, but then let go of any attachment for how that intention unfolds. And when I do that, number one, I'm not disappointed in the same way as when I think there's a specific way or a specific person I need to connect with. But also, I think it opens me up to the actual magic that exists in the room. At least that's what I find works best for me.
That happens every time. And I think that I had this epiphany like probably 2 years into attending events. And it just, when you're thinking about, I have to connect with this person, I have to meet this speaker, I have to meet this speaker, you're missing literally what you need actually right now. Because a lot of times when I was going into the rooms, like it was so far of a stretch from where I was in my life to where that speaker was, that it was like I didn't have any value to necessarily add to them either. And it was like they weren't in the headspace or have anything for me. Like, you guys, you have to understand, they're not getting off stage and in a headspace of like, yeah, let me try to figure out how to help you for free. Like, it's just not, it's not in their realm of what they're even thinking. In fact, it can be a major turnoff for some people. And I'm sure I've turned off plenty of people in the past. So don't go there. You don't need to feel bad about it. We literally all did this. Lindsey, I know you have too. I don't know your story, but I know we probably have a story somewhere in there where we're like, oh God, I could have potentially made kind of a fool of myself by not understanding like the value add and also the needing to like go with a giving spirit and a giving energy rather than a taking energy into situations like this. So definitely like being so open with my intentions has changed my entire life. Like, I'm like, I know there's magic in the room, show me, but also like having somewhat of a clear intention of what I want. And oftentimes if it's just like, I really want to make a friend who I can build with, who we can really, maybe I feel more confident around that person, and that's going to give me the confidence I need to go do that in-person dinner with all those people or to put a date on the calendar for that event. That's huge, you guys. You have no idea what just getting people in your friend group who are at the same place as you, who breathe life into you, does for your journey in your business. Okay, so with your event, what is like one of your favorite things that happens every single year?
Oh my gosh.
I know there's a lot.
Favorite things. So there is this moment, and it happens throughout the experience at different times for different people. But I think it's that magic combination of your subconscious mind is seeing all of these women who are giving you massive permission to dream even bigger than you allow yourself to dream. Plus, you end up, I think, hearing the person's story that your mind can connect with, whether it's from stage or someone you meet in the room. And I think it's that magic combination of the permission to go even bigger than we allow ourselves to go, combined with the person who's like the living, breathing example that it's possible for you. Maybe they come from a similar background or they have the same number of kids and they're just a step or two ahead. Sometimes even the speakers on the stage feel a little bit out of reach. Our mind can't connect with the fact that if Lori could do it, so can I. But the woman you're sitting next to shares her story and it helps your mind connect the dots. I think those are the moments that unleash you back into your life as a different version. You're operating differently. You're thinking differently. Yes, you might be going back. I mean, most of us will go back into the same environment as we left, as far as our home environment, but now you're bringing a different version of you back. And so I love to see the energy shift. It's typically around midday on Saturday. There's been enough conversations, the connection on Friday night, the pajama party, the morning of Saturday, we're really starting to drop in, realizing we're all more alike than we are different. And I cannot even put a value on what that shift mentally, like when you see that it's possible for you, it actually opens you up to actions you wouldn't have thought to take, connections you wouldn't have thought to make. Your energy starts to resonate with the life that you want. And that is the power of putting yourself in an experience. It's the fastest way to shift your energy to match the outcome that you want in your life. And for some people, that happens right away. For others, maybe they go home and all of a sudden something clicks. So we get to see a lot of those aha moments in the room, but the ripple effect, the days and weeks afterward is really, I think, where the magic starts to settle in. And then now you're moving through your life as a different version of yourself. It's like rocket fuel.
You're different after that, especially for all of you who feel a little nervous about it. You get an even bigger transformation, which is really cool. Like you walk out of that room a completely different person because you did things you had never done before and you showed up in a way that you've never shown up before, or at least you have the opportunity to. And I think that's the fun thing about these events is you can be the future version of yourself in there. I'm not saying be inauthentic because it's not inauthentic to actually be who you know you're supposed to be. It's actually inauthentic to continue to not be her. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's amazing to be able to walk into this event and be like, you know what? I want to say my biggest dream out loud. And I'm going to just put a period after it, not like a, but maybe, oh, I shouldn't, or I don't know if I can. I know that sounds crazy, but like for those of you listening to this, truly practice saying what you want, saying where you want to go, that big audacious dream with a period at the end, no apologizing for it beforehand. No, like, I'm not sure if I can, like state it like a fact to the universe, to God, to all the witnesses that are going to be in that room, because that is how you start to change the pattern. It's how you start to change the pattern. It's how you start to change your trajectory, your identity, all of the things. So I live in the cutest little walkable neighborhood, and recently the store Cozy Earth opened up, and I was so excited about it because, you know, I just love being able to go on my walks every single day. You guys know I go twice a day. And being able to pass by and go in there because it has some of the best stuff. And one of the things that really got me was their bamboo sheets. You guys, they're temperature regulating, guaranteed to give you a comfortable night's sleep, made from viscose from bamboo. They're naturally wick away heat and moisture from your body, helping you sleep several degrees cooler. And you guys, Cozy Earth's mission is to transform your 5 to 9, the time that matters most, into the most comfortable part of your day. And let me tell you, they are absolutely helping me do that because sleeping in a cooler environment offers so many scientifically supported benefits that enhance sleep quality and overall health. Here are some key findings from recent studies and expert recommendations, which I sleep in a really ice cold room. You can ask my husband. I don't know if he loves it as much as I do, but deep sleep is so important to me. So enhanced sleep quality. Cooler temperatures facilitate the body's natural drop in core temperature at night, promoting the release of melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep. And this leads to faster sleep onset and improved sleep quality. It also helps with mood regulation. Cooler sleeping conditions can boost serotonin levels, contributing to improved mood and reduced symptoms of depression. And there's a reduced risk of night sweat. So for individuals experiencing night sweats, such as those undergoing menopause, perimenopause, cooler room temperatures can alleviate symptoms and promote uninterrupted sleep. So you guys, you can help yourself out with some sheets. I am telling you, these things are life-changing because deep sleep has changed my life. And I just feel like I have a different personality when I've gotten enough sleep. I feel like I have all of the energy that I need to get through my day and do all of the things that I have to do as an entrepreneur. So you can do this risk-free purchasing. It's a 100-night sleep trial. So you can try them during the hottest nights of the year, which are coming up. If you're not in love, you can return them hassle-free, but trust me, you won't. It's a 10-year warranty on all bedding products. That's a decade of cool quality sleep. You can upgrade your summer. Go to CozyEarth.com and use code EARN for 40% off best-selling temperature regulating sheets, apparel, and more. So trust me, you'll feel the difference the very first night. Sleep cooler, lounge lighter, stay cozy. Go to CozyEarth.com and use code EARN for 40% off. When I first started Glossy, there were enough challenges that I didn't need to give myself more. And when you're starting off with something new, it just seems like your to-do list keeps on growing every day with new tasks and often tasks that you have no idea how to do them. So finding the right tool that not only helps you out, but simplifies everything is a game changer. And for millions of businesses, including mine at Glossy, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started, just like mine. Getting started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style, which if you go look at mine, I'm telling you, I love it. Accelerate your content creation. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. So get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. You can easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/happy. Go to shopify.com/happy. Shopify.com/happy. And, when I did Jack Canfield's event, it was a 3 weeks long, split into 1 week, 3 different weeks throughout the year. And at the end of all of them, he had a party where you would have to come as your future self, and you weren't allowed to ever even break character. Like, you weren't supposed to the whole night, which felt so dumb at first. I can't even tell you. Like, you'd acknowledge it, and they're like, the people who have been there forever, like, don't even acknowledge it. Like, you have to actually play as if you have that business, as if you've sold the company for 50 million, as if you've, you have the future kids, or you already have the partner. Like, you're actually introducing your imaginary partner. Like, that's how intense this evening is. And you're playing this not with just anyone, but like with Jack Canfield and a bunch of other of his friends. And you're like, this is insane. But Jack has done this. So not only at that event did he do it for years and years, he would get together with all of the other high level, like, famous authors and these different, just like high performing, incredible, huge money making people, like, that we would go, oh my God, this is insane. And they would do this every year.
Yeah.
Is that not, they would actually have a party, and this was the party that they would have. And I'm like, okay, well, if these, multi-millionaires are doing this like party every year for their whole life, maybe we should get a clue that we should start practicing this. So this event is such a fun event, maybe not to show up exactly like that, but to state what you want, and to walk into that room and put your shoulders back and catch yourself every time you notice you're crossing your arms and your legs and closing off your energy, or catch yourself every time you notice that you want to go to the bathroom just to lock yourself in the stall to have a minute. Like, stretch yourself, push yourself, make yourself do the thing. It's the perfect place for it. So Lindsey, anything else that you want to share?
I feel like what you were just sharing, number one, is so powerful, because that is it. And I want to also speak to the person who feels like they're not at a point yet to put themselves in a room, or maybe you were at the Powerhouse event last year and you're like, I am not where I want to be. I stated really bold things and I don't deserve to come back this year. Because I got this text. We have a text community, and I've been sharing this everywhere because it honestly spoke to how I'm feeling. I'm the event host, and I feel this way, where I just feel like I'm not as far along as I hoped to be in my business, in my healing journey, in moving through some of the changes that I went through last year. And this beautiful woman, I told her I'd keep this anonymous, but she did give me permission to share. She said, I went to the event and then I bought my ticket last year. And she said, I had a really bold vision to launch this business and transition out of corporate. And I've made progress, but I've also wrestled with imposter syndrome. And there's moments where I almost gave up. And she said, I considered skipping the trip. She already has her ticket, but she's like, I considered skipping the trip to Scottsdale because I'm not where I thought I would be. And then she said, and I want to read this for everyone because this is going to speak to someone listening, whether it relates to the Powerhouse Women event or something else that you've just been beating yourself up because you're not as far along as you told yourself you would be. And she said, 2 weeks ago, I made a decision to show up anyway, even if I'm just slightly more elevated. version of who I was last year. I'm choosing to be in the room, to be reminded of what's possible, to breathe life. I'm like, I get emotional every time I read this, to breathe life back into the vision I once felt so clearly. Because that woman, the one who dared to dream big enough to buy a ticket, is still in me. And I think she's ready to rise. And I think I want to speak to that because there's going to be, some of you are going to be so fired up by what we already shared. Others are going to hear that, and the voice in you that's trying to talk you out of your dreams is just louder right now. And that happens for all of us. Like I said, I mean, this is an event I host every year. And this year, that's where I am at. I need to go back and be filled up by the women in the room. And I also have a lot that I'm going to be pouring into all of you, but I'm being honest with the fact that no matter how far along in my journey I go, I still have those moments that I feel down on myself because I'm not as far along as I had hoped to be. And I just want you to know that this is the safest and most welcoming place for you, no matter where you find yourself. And in fact, I think it's even more important to put ourselves in spaces that remind us of who we really are when we're in those down moments.
I couldn't agree more. And let me just tell you, that journey of never feeling where you want to be doesn't go away, because when you do a big dream and a big stretch, you're meant to see that vision kind of like a flash. And you are then meant to figure out how to piece it together, but not even in a timeline. Like, let go of the timeline, because everyone's timeline is so different. And honestly, there are slow years and then there are rocket ship years. So enjoy the slower ones, because I will tell you, sometimes you have those years where you are catapulted. And that is a whole other type of growth, you guys. That's a whole other type of, stress that you deal with. And so, like, I think that we all just have to allow ourselves to be at where we're going to be on the journey, because it's going to look so different for everybody. I've had fast years. I've had very slow years. I've had long winters. I've had short winters. I've had awesome summers. I've had is summer ever going to come? So it's really great to be in that room to actually hear this, because I think that's going to be confirmation for people that wherever they are, they still made progress in some form, and that they're exactly where they need to be, and that it was meant for them to come. So you guys, I am going to be there. I also have a booth there, which I'm so excited about. We have a Glossy booth again, which is so exciting. I get to chat with all the girlies in the back, which is so fun. And it was just a testament to how these big groups of women were coming up. And I was like, hey, how'd you guys all meet each other? This group of like 5 or 7 girls. And they're like, we just met. I was like, shut up. You seem like you're besties, which is so fun. So I get to go chat with everybody on Friday at the pajama party, which is so much fun. And then Saturday I'm speaking, and then Sunday again I'm speaking. So give a quick rundown and then we'll tell them where they can get their ticket.
Yeah. So if you haven't been before, the weekend kind of starts off with this amazing kickoff party. It is more of a dressed down way for you to connect, because I know it can be really intimidating to walk into a room of powerful women. It's a little less intimidating when we're all wearing fuzzy slippers. So yes, you actually wear pajamas Friday night. Saturday kicks off with networking. We have a mimosa bar. We have a pop-up shop full of women-owned businesses, and then a full day of incredible speakers, all topics ranging from how to be seen and get over your fear of visibility, how to, really make your big dream a reality. And then on Sunday, this is the first year that we've added programming on Sunday as well. We're just going to be more business focused, because we know there are so many of you who are entrepreneurs who really want to know, okay, what are the tactical things that I need to know right now to grow my business? So we have some incredible panel discussions. It's going to be a little bit more of an intimate group, about 300 to 300 people to 350. And so you're going to have a lot of connections. You're going to be able to really have strategy conversations that are going to help you take the next step to scale your business. And I'm really excited for that. Yeah, this is going to be the first time we add on that Sunday programming, and I think it's going to quickly become everyone's favorite.
I know. I cannot wait for it. I can't wait to not only do the big event, but then to kind of stay for the women who are in the place in their business where they're like, okay, I want a little bit more. So that's always really fun to kind of switch gears as well. So I can't wait. All right, Linz, where can they get their tickets?
You can go right now to powerhousewomenevent.com. And for just a few more days, you can save $200 on your ticket. That's powerhousewomenevent.com. You don't need a code or anything. It'll just automatically give you the discount. And I can't wait to see you there.
Yay. Well, you guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I really, really hope I get to see you there because both Lindsey and I have had our biggest transformations through events just like this. And if it weren't for events like this, I don't even know if you and I would have crossed paths, because I know that in the beginning, that is how we kept crossing paths. Is I was like, this girl is always on the radar. I know.
Think about.
So thank God.
I love you.
There's your sign. There's your sign. I love you too. Okay, you guys, until next time, earn your happy. Bye, everyone.